Alright, guys. Right now we're gonna do this quick character spotlight for Doom and Taylor Swift. So, first off, I'll just do a quick mission here and then I'll go a little bit more in depth. I will show these again and let you guys read them more. I don't know why I have Noble Popo. But whatever. When I want to run fast, character is a pretty good space by DPS, but Daria is more of a slow spammer. They have really good HP regen, so like even when you're taking damage, like, they do so much base bar damage that they just absorb more damage than you do. This team right here is probably one of my favorite ones to play. Like this so people can see what I got there. You can warp as soon as you buy the roulette. People don't really know that a lot. They'll think that you'll lose the item. So I'll go a little bit about Daria first. And I guess I'll go human, medium armor, 0 defense. So Daria's got something interesting about her. So this skill right here is her trigger skill. When you do it, you get either strength and HP and accuracy, or dex, agility, and critical. She gets the critical cap even without being on the critical one, and this skill right here gives her defense when she's on her agility trigger, or it gives her attack when she's on her attack trigger. So right here you'll see like her damage per second. I'm hitting about 600k. Like obviously if I went and did, you know, elephants right here. I have a very good weapon for her. Got a Bigelow blade right here. But her big thing right here is when she does skills. Her skills actually hit twice, and like, see, I did 1.8 and then 2.3 million damage. Damage. Like all of her skills hit twice, and they're pretty strong. But her whole point is she ignores a lot of defense while doing these, and her skills are not very long. Let me show you something though. Every time she skills, she gets fighting spirit buff going up. When she gets her fighting spirit finished, something changes, which is actually when it gets to 15. So she finished it now, and look at how far away she can attack from. She has much longer range. Let's look at this here. So, this is on the strength trigger. I'm only using level 11 on her. So, I go to hit this Scarecrow. Her space bar is now much stronger than it was before. As you'll see, she's doing about 1 million damage a second right here with this stuff. Probably got dropped, I think, 9 meters something. I don't know. Okay, it's going about 950k with the stuff I have on her right here. So, the spacebar damage is pretty good. Her first skill right here. Pretty good damaging skill. This is her biggest damaging skill, and it's pretty quick cast. This skill right there, it's actually her strongest, but this skill is actually stronger in most cases because it ignores 75 defense. Now this Scarecrow right here is on low armor. I'll put it up more in the future, but so that's like, you see both of those are pretty similar in damage. This skill right here is good for wiping out a bunch of mobs. This one's single target. This one's 5 enemies but a low range. This one's really the only good AoE she has. She really wants to cast about 8 skills. Here's what the fighting holy debuff or buff gives her when she casts it. Her range increases 2 times. She does 1.5 times normal damage, and her skill attack is 200%. I don't have the right artifacts on these characters yet. I just returned to the game. I'm working on getting the 20 crit damage artifacts and stuff like that. But for right now, I'm just playing with her, you know, oops, I'm actually using int accessories on her for some reason. But so you saw about what her damage was. Her space bar was doing about 1 million on the thing, like 9.5, stuff like that. My Doom, I've got, I don't know, I'll just use this stuff here and I'll put it to Demon, so it's kind of a fair comparison. Doom does not have the problem that he has to build up any buffs like she does. He has to cast these 2 things, and then he just puts the, this thing. So this skill right here, he does 60 crit damage, so with his crit right here, he's gonna do 60% bonus damage on his crits. And this one right here gives him double attack. As you can see, he's about 10k attack. I've done undead and a demon thing, so like I actually do more damage to undead than I would do to demons. But I'm just doing demon like, I'm not using double Rachel's on him. When you can get his crit up to 50%, he'll do much more damage. I do have that. I've got only 1 costume. I don't have both. I've got his 2 rings, which are both against her. He's just got that. So, alright, you're seeing his spacebar damage is pretty much double, but he's not hitting his crit cap. If I use like a sedative or something, I'm closer. Oh crap! I wasn't at the speed cap. I'm why is his speed so slow right now? That's also everything. Wait a second. Yeah, sorry about this right here. Okay, that was embarrassing. This is how you know everything here. I'm just doing it right off the top of my head here. Okay, I knew his damage was going a little low. But if I had the right artifacts, he does much more damage. As you can see, his spacebar DPS is going about twice what Daria is doing without even having 50% crit or anything. I think this is pretty good. I have this elephant buff. I don't have any like pet food things active. If you have Rosa buff or anything, he'll do much more. But yeah, I don't have double racials. She only has one weapon, so her racial is going more effective. But here is his downside. So his first skill right here, it can hit up to 7 enemies. Doesn't do that much damage. Like 1.7. His next skill right here hits 5 enemies. Again, not much damage. This skill actually hits decent damage, but it's not as good as the spacebar. These things are going off. His final skill right here is actually pretty nice because you can do this and you can hold it till you're ready to cast it, but the damage on it is actually not that impressive. His skills are complete crap. He's literally just he's just an auto attacker, and he actually does a lot more damage than Daria. Like if I go there, their spacebar damage, even when everything, they've both got all their things there. I don't know, let's go to, I'll just click it to wildlife since neither of them have a racial for that. Doom is just dominating over there. Like, look at that. He's hitting like about 4 times the damage on them with dominate. He hits double with like her on Rachel and only on 1. But here's about 3 or 4, somewhere around 4 or 16. But now let's talk about something right here. Let's move up the boss to 250 defense. Okay, so look, he's still doing pretty good. He's got 150 penetration. His damage didn't drop that much. Not bad. Now let's do something else. Move the boss up to 400 defense. Normally bosses won't have 400 defense, but they might have high immunity. His defense tanks pretty hard here. And yes, he's still hitting a lot less, but like when he does a skill here, you'll see his damage goes up a little bit, but then by the time it ends, it's pretty much back down. Now when she does a skill, her skill's going up. Like, it's going way above what she was like. You know, her skill damage, it goes up. Because she's ignoring defense. That's a very important thing. I can't do this at both people attacking the same time because there's errors about having skills that do knockdowns. Anytime you have skills that do knockdowns, you can't have 2 people hitting Scarecrow, because if Scarecrow gets knocked down, the other people's skills get cancelled, their auto attacks won't go off while you're doing it. There's just the problems. But let's see, I'll hit this for a little bit with her. So I'm gonna be hitting these, doing her skills, blah blah blah. Yeah, like look at her damage right here. She's going up pretty good. She'll drop a little bit when her skills are on cooldown. And the higher the defense is, the more important she'll be with them. I will state the accessories are a bit different. Him, I'm using a strata step bonus with. I have an earring because I'm bad. I only have 1 strata earring. But basically, I'm hitting about 300 now. Let's move to Doom on this one. And remember, with Rachel I was doing more. So his spacebar is hitting about a third of her. If I'm using the skills, this one does pretty good, but then that one's on cooldown. This one's not really even that good. The damage is, like, you know, not really keeping it up. This one actually is better to just cast it instantly for DPS, but for overall burst, it might be better to keep it up. Yeah, like, he doesn't compete on the high damage per second bosses when they're high defense. He does very good DPS on low defense. He's actually the strongest character in the game for overall damage per second. Nobody competes with Doom. Now, when I have a different gear or something, I'm not just saying, like, this is exactly, oh, she does 4 times less spacebar damage than Doom. Like, obviously, if you have the exact same gear, it's a little bit different, but I'm just doing them just to show general idea of how the characters work. So, his skills right here, this first one right here, he can inflict debuff stuff. This first one, it's an AoE. Next one's an AoE, but it's short range. Next one's AoE, but short range. Oh no, that's not AoE. It's only one. And it's actually his strongest skill. And he actually does bonus, like, damage to these people when he has his things on. Here's one thing about him. When you have this on, his HP goes down very fast. He's losing like thousands a second. But look what happens when I auto thing. He's gonna heal really quick. He actually... Oh, I don't have this one. So I'll hit these guys, and I'm just healing more than I'm taking from their damage. I don't think that HP absorbs after working properly on those. I normally, like, keep having an insta HP. I'll go test on mobs. Alright, let's see. No, I was gonna just go there and I can just actually teleport into the map. I was gonna teleport there and walk in, but...
정말 파괴한 자.
철벽의 방패로.
Whoops, that's the defensive buff on her. So, as you can see, he's half HP. But now when I go to hit mobs, yeah, the HP absorb was not working right on the Scarecrow. A lot of stuff on Scarecrows doesn't work right. So let's try to get him hurting a little bit. So both of those characters there, like, as soon as they start hitting, they instantly heal their full. They do way more damage than they have HP, so they'll just gain more than anything. Now, for mobs like this, Doom actually has a problem killing these mobs. So he has this skill right here that's actually pretty strong, but when he's not doing his skills, you'll notice a problem. Doom only hits one target at the same time. Daria has the ability to hit multiple people's squads, and I'm going to show you something once I get her sword evolved, how useful her thing is. Right now at 11, 12, 14... So she's at her thing now. So now when I see all these mobs right here, she gets to hit all of these mobs at the same time. Like, she's hitting multiple mobs. So this isn't just her. So while Doom does better spacebar damage for her, she's clearing multiple mobs at one time, she's splash damage. And her buff has no duration. This stays on forever once she gets it up until she dies. So if you're doing something like AFK Vesping, Daria is the best melee character in the game for that. She's the best spacebar when you're AFK. Nobody competes with her. She does very good spacebar AFK damage. She is very easy to hit the crit cap with. I mean, I guess if you're AFKing, you won't have shooting enhancements, so you won't get to that, but, like, you know, you can toggle this thing and she'll get 11 crit, and then, like, get the dexterity too, so you'll be close to it. You can, if you're AFKing or you keep her on her dex trigger. Or Doom, he's got to keep both of these two buffs up to keep his spacebar damage up, and he's also not splash damage. So, what situations would you use Doom over Daria, and when would you use Daria over Doom? I personally use one of each of them, because I feel like the situations when I want to Doom is literally only when I'm killing just lower end bosses, where when I want two Darias would be literally just high defense bosses, and they're both good at both of those things. Like, Doom still does good damage on higher bosses, Daria still does good on lower bosses. When I was just showing the spacebar DPS, her skill DPS on low defense is still pretty nice too. She's actually really good, and he's really good. Neither of them, I would say, is better or worse than the other. I would say Daria to me has more uses, but the uses where Doom is good at, he is a little bit better at them. Like raw DPS, Doom is better than her, but she has so much more uses. I use Daria to best with this sword here. This sword here. That's my Vestal sword. But I only have 3 swords right now. I gotta be working on those. This is like my PvP sword I use for other characters. I had it before I had these two. Like, I just use it on her because it's got more penetration, and with him I'm using his set bonus, so I have to use the Strata one on him. I'm a huge fan of this team comp with Doom plus Daria. I use this for all of my melee missions, and for my magic missions I use Rubiana plus Olin. Alright, I'm gonna have to stop the video here real quick. There's a clan thing going on right here, I guess. So, I'll just do my quick rating of the characters right now. My rating on Daria right here, I'll type it in the clan, I can't actually type it because I have to decline that. Okay, so I'll accept his thing. Oh god, I can't open up that. So, anyways, Daria right now, for solo raids, 10 out of 10. Doom, 10 out of 10. For field PvP, I think they're both about a 7, I would say, for field PvP. They're both a 7 for normal PvP. I would say that they're 7 in just all PvP instances. In field raids, though, where you're trying to DPS the boss, they're less useful. They are both good. There are bosses that they're good at, but generally, most field bosses are magic. And because of this, you're going to want to use Eileen and Rubiana. Rubiana is generally the best, as she's more burst, and Eileen's a little bit weaker. So, yeah, I would definitely agree that these characters are not the best fields, but if melee becomes a thing in fields, I would definitely recommend them. There are some field bosses that melee is good for. I actually use these for some bosses. I'm not going to state which ones, but overall, these are must-have characters. You should have either Daria or Doom. You don't have to get both of them, but I would highly recommend getting one of them or both. You could get two of either if you prefer them. I prefer Daria over Doom because of more use case scenarios, like Vesping, which is important to me. Vesping is not important to many players. If your entire point is doing like Lucifer dailies and Harmonia dailies, Doom is better. So you really have to make a decision on if you're fighting higher end bosses or lower end, or if you're using like doing Vesping or questing. I like Daria for clearing hunt dailies. She can just, control click and she just kills all the mobs. That's a very good thing for her to do right there. I have to say, she's definitely my favorite character right now. And that's it.